Phew! G'day crew, I'm Oscar Pelazon and welcome to another episode of Tube Time Tuesday. So I'm coming to you from the Boardroom HQ, my little office in North Beach, and not down on the beach again today. I just couldn't go down there. The crappy swell and the crappy banks just keep reminding me about how often the surf in Trig is shitty. And so I thought rather than get down there and get frustrated, I thought I'd get back in the boardroom here and talk to you about a presentation that I was at recently. And it was run by a personal effectiveness coach, Samantha Lena. And she took the group through a framework that really struck with me, struck a chord. And because at the end of the day, whether we're talking about coaching, whether we're talking about business, or whether we're talking about life in general, it all comes down to one thing, and that's taking action. And that's when the magic happens or doesn't. And as Sam was talking, I found myself thinking, this isn't just about coaching business. This is about everything you're trying to achieve. Whether you've got a coach sitting beside you or you're doing it on your own, if you're not taking action, nothing changes. And what she highlighted was that action doesn't just magically happen. There are a few things that need to be in place. And it starts with accountability. At some point, you've got to stop looking externally, blaming the market, your team, your situation, and just own where you're at. Because until you do that, you've got no control over changing it. Being it yourself or through someone else, create accountability. The second thing is courage. Because most of the actions that move the needle require doing something that's uncomfortable. Whether it's having a tough conversation, backing yourself in, or making a call you've been avoiding, courage is what gets you over that line. Thirdly, you've got to have emotional regulation. Remember, things won't always go to plan. You'll have setbacks, frustration, doubt, and if you let those emotions dictate your behavior, you either stop or you react in ways that set you back even further. So staying ready and staying calm is critical. Next comes decision making. I see this all the time, people waiting for the perfect answer. Sorry to say, it doesn't exist. Progress comes from making a call, learning from it and adjusting. Indecision just keeps you stuck where you are. You need clarity as well, because if you're not clear on what you actually want or why it matters, your effort gets scattered. You end up busy but not effective. So clarity gives you direction to the actions that you're taking. And finally, commitment. Because starting is easy when you're motivated. But when it gets hard, when the results aren't immediate, that's where commitment kicks in. It's what keeps you showing up and doing the work, doing what you know is going to make a difference. And none of this is groundbreaking. But when you step back and look at it, even if one of those things is missing, what happens? You hesitate, you procrastinate, and you overthink. And before you know it, you're where you started. Nothing's changed. So if you're feeling stuck now or like you're not getting the traction you want, don't just focus on the goal. Take a step, back yourself, ask yourself what's missing. Because often it's not your ability, it's one of these pieces not being in place. And when you get them aligned, action becomes easier, progress becomes consistent, and things start to move to where you want them to be. So a big thanks to Sam for sparking that reflection. I thought it was well worth sharing. And that's it from me today. I look forward to seeing you next week for another episode of Tube Time Tuesdays. Happy days. Yewww.